Yeah, yeah. Making her way to the mic. They start dimming the lights. You start feeling alright. From Birmingham, home of the Teddy Longs and the Ruben Studders. More once you discover. For all of the lovers, Whitney Houston and Roman Reigns. For all of the lovers, and Mickey James and Marvin Gaye. For all of the lovers, and Sasha Banks, Janelle Monáe, Silk, Sonic, and Paige. Allow me to say, look, I just found a place, sweet escape for every one of us. I was kinda late, I just made it off the struggle bus. Walking by the fate, cause I know it's right in front of us. Yo, I ain't with the hate, gotta focus on what's great. Ladies and gentlemen, Steph Hardy is on the air. Had to drop a couple bars just to make you all aware. So, sit back, relax, enjoy the show. You know I go by Joe or the rest of the flow, yeah.
Hey y'all, welcome to the best little wrestle house in Alabama. This is the Hardy Wrestling Podcast with your girl Stephanie Hardy, host and creator of this amazing platform, host and writer for Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet, as well as color commentator for the Belladonna Division, Battle Club Pro, and Black Girl Magic 2022. Welcome, and I hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday filled with love and happiness and productiveness. But now you're about to chill out because it's like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, wherever you're at. It's evening time. So it's time to chill out and watch this show and, listen and stuff. So thank you to those who are watching on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and everywhere else. But with me, I have a special guest. I have someone who I have been interested in talking to for a long time. You may know her if you spend a whole bunch of time on TikTok, like a lot of us do. She is a content creator, a really big wrestling fan, and in her mind, she is the future of the WWE, a future wrestling superstar. She is Raevyn Briana. How are you, Raevyn?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. And like I said, I am so happy to have you on. You look like
Happy
you're
to be
ready with
here.
your t-shirt and everything.
Yeah,
Like you are a vibe on TikTok. So I just had to have you on and had to have you come on the show because
I
I just
appreciate
want to
it.
talk to you. Absolutely. Absolutely. And of course, if you are watching and if you want to comment and chime in, your comments might show up on the screen. So don't be afraid to comment and stuff. So, Raevyn, I got to ask you, when did you fall in love with wrestling?
So I have uncles that grew up watching wrestling, and they introduced me to it, and then like I kind of fell off for a little bit because I was like 5 or 6 at that time. And then I was in the third grade, so I was 9, and one of my friends was into it, and I fell in love at that point. Like, haven't stopped watching since. So that was 2009. It's been a while. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so it's like your uncles got you into it and then you kind of dropped off a little bit, which does tend to happen to some people, because life happens. You have different interests that pull your attention away for a
Mhm.
minute. But then you came back in like 2009, which a lot of wrestling fans, online sort of feel like that's sort of like a weird period where it
Mhm.
was kind of okay to say you liked wrestling, but not as okay as
Yep.
it might have been back in the day or like it is now. But
Mhm.
either way, that was still a pretty sweet spot there.
Yeah. And then after that, I fell off. I want to say I just went into high school, and I fell off a little bit, but like I kept tabs on everything that was going on between 2013 to like 16. Kept tabs. Um, Same thing for a little bit longer. Then COVID hit, and of course there was nothing to do. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll start watching again. Then the year after that, Extreme Rules was here in Columbus, and I was like, I should buy tickets. I should go. I won't know nobody there, but whatever. And that like struck something right there. Like, I remember going as a kid and being like in the nosebleeds, but this time I was by myself and I had really good seats. I seen Jeff Hardy for the first time ever. So it it started it right back up, and I haven't stopped since. And then my sister got into it, so yeah.
Oh, cool. Is your sister younger or older?
She's 15, so she's younger than me.
Okay, I get that. My sister's younger than me too. Shout out to her. She's 21.
Mhm.
So it was me and her and my dad got us into it. And then my grandmother watched it before he did. So
Mhm.
it's been kind of like a generational thing. So I totally get it. But
Yeah.
you went to your first wrestling event, which was Extreme Rules. Like,
Yeah.
oh my
That was my
God.
first one in years, since early 2000s. First one in years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so what was the very first one you went to?
It was a Raw. I was in 4th grade. Me and my cousins went with my uncle, and then we went to a couple house shows and stuff like that. So yeah, but this one, like, now that I have adult money, I have no problem when I see Ohio. It don't matter where in Ohio, I'll go. Like, I'm taking my sister to Raw, no, SmackDown the day before SummerSlam, and we're going to SummerSlam. It's a whole road trip. We're just gonna drive through. I took her to a house show for Christmas, and she met Bianca, so that was a fun thing. And we just went this past April for SmackDown, and we met LA Knight and stuff. So it's a lot more that I can do. Like, it was fun. I like it.
Cool. Like, I love going to live events. Those are really
Yes.
like amazing, especially
Mhm.
if you're like me. Like, I'm really loud.
Yeah,
And I like to talk
that's
at the
me and my
TV and
sister.
yell at the people who I love and yell at the people I
Yeah,
don't like. So
I
it's
lost
just,
my voice at during WrestleMania. Like, those 2 days, I literally went to work. I don't know if I went to work or school. Somewhere I went, and I had a podcast to do with no voice. It was
ooh.
so bad. Yeah, I get serious.
Yes, you really get into it.
Yeah,
And I like that cuz that's basically me, except now since I have my podcast, I have to try my best not to go as hard because I
yeah,
know I have something else to do. But when I didn't have this platform, I would just go
mhm,
balls to the wall and just
yeah,
yell and not
yeah.
care about anything and then
Yeah,
just
it's
recover.
especially don't go when seen somebody that you haven't seen before. Like, that's what makes it so much worse. I went to one in Cincinnati, and Uncle Howdy was there, and I'm so short, and I'm like, I can't see nothing going on, but I'm going crazy. Seth came in the crowd, I'm going crazy. I'm like, yeah, this stuff right here, this is a lifestyle.
Oh
Definitely
yeah.
is. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. But we love it. So you said that around the pandemic time was kind of when you got back into it. Like,
Mhm.
was it different for you watching wrestling without crowds and stuff? Because I know that was a huge adjustment.
Yeah, it was definitely different. It was kind of weird. That's kind of what was like that weird, iffy pushing me towards it. And then I'm like, I don't like the no crowds, so it's kind of weird. But then there's Peacock, which, God bless the creators of Peacock, because it helps you catch up even more. Because I was lost on some stuff. I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on. Um, but the pandemic was definitely weird. I was there, but then I was like, I don't really like the pay-per-views. Yeah, wasn't a fan.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I can understand it was a bit of an adjustment for a lot of people because on social media, which was, of course, it's heavy now,
Mhm.
but around, of course, the pandemic when a lot of people were locked in and stuff, we were always on social media. So it's
Yeah.
just like a lot of people felt very strongly about having to watch wrestling and there was no crowd. They were just like, I don't know if I can do it, or I'm not
Mhm.
going to do it, or I'm not going to watch it at this phase. You
Yeah.
know, so it was a little bit hard for people. I just know I was gonna keep watching it because I just didn't know
Mhm.
anything else. Like I've been
Yeah.
watching it since I was a child, so I was like, I really don't know nothing else, so I'm just gonna keep watching it just to see.
Yeah,
So
I get that. I get that.
yeah, yeah, but it was fun though. I will say that because
Mhm.
a lot of storylines really did kind of like were propelled a whole lot more,
Yeah, definitely.
and a lot of more focus was put on them, outside of being distracted by crowds and stuff that could control so much of everything, you
Yeah.
know. So it was interesting, but I'm glad that the crowds are back though, because 2 years without a show was hard.
Yeah, it was not too fun. I was not too fond of it. But I'm glad they came here fresh out the pandemic. It was fun.
Yeah, so when you were catching up on, wrestling on Peacock and stuff, like what was something that surprised you, as you were catching
Hmm.
up with everything that had happened over the last couple years?
So it was more weird because like I remember watching and I see so many people. It was weird when I didn't see the people that I knew.
Mhm.
Like that's what was making it weird before I got onto Peacock. And then seeing how the different storylines progressed and like what I missed out on at the time, it was yeah, it was a struggle a little bit.
Okay, well, who exactly did you know from back then and then watching it and putting it together with what you saw in the present?
um, of course, Roman, Seth. It was different. Dean Ambrose was gone. John Moxley. That was weird. Um, Rey Mysterio was still there. Randy. Randy is the one that got me into wrestling. So still seeing Randy helped me out so much. Um, at the time, seeing Jeff Hardy, just the familiar faces from when you're a kid, that helps out. Besides like CM Punk and stuff like that. I mean, I knew about that one. I was still watching at the time when he left. But I think the different titles definitely confused me when I started watching because I'm a big spinner belt person. So when that was gone, I was like, what? Okay. Like that was
Oh.
the best time in my whole childhood. That was the best thing. So it was a little weird.
Yeah, but wrestling, is a very ever evolving thing. But
Yeah.
the thing that I love about wrestling though is like even when you quit watching at one point, you can still
Hmm.
pick it up because its history is always available to you, especially
Yeah,
now more
and
than ever.
it feels like I didn't really miss out on much because I caught back on so quick. Like at that Extreme Rules, it was Finn Balor versus Roman. And I was like, okay, I gotta catch up on what's going on, why this is a thing. And from there, I was like, okay, this makes sense. Like you can catch on very, very fast. Yeah.
Definitely.
So that was a good thing.
Definitely. Okay, so you mentioned a lot of the things that you've experienced from going to live events in the last few years,
Yeah.
like meeting LA Knight and taking your sister to meet Bianca Belair and stuff like
Hmm.
that. So, what exactly like made you decide to create content centered around wrestling, whether it was through your podcast or through TikTok? Like what was it for you that made you decide I'm going to make this type of content and put it out in the universe?
Um, well, being a girl, uh, colored girl, it was always
Mhm.
a weird, it was taboo to watch wrestling for real. And that's kind of why I stopped watching a little bit because of the kids like, why are you watching? You're a girl and stuff like that. Then like you're looking now and it's like nobody cares what anybody does. You can be whoever you want to be and stuff like that. You can watch your wrestling if you want. Nobody, you don't care if anybody says, why are you watching that? How old are you? You don't care no more. So I was in college. I'm a bored college student. I was like, I'm gonna make some TikToks because I'm bored. And that first one, that MVP one, I did not expect anything out of that. Like that was the most random thing ever. When I say I went to bed, woke up like, wow, okay. I was like, this is crazy. I just was watching TV. I heard the old MVP song. I was like, I wonder if anybody else experienced this before. And apparently everybody did. So I was like, okay, cool. Yeah,
Yes.
it was different. I was like, wow.
Yes, it was hilarious because I literally like had that same experience too. Like me and my dad would joke about that song
Uh-huh.
because of the way it sort of escalates like that. And so when I
Yeah.
saw you make that TikTok, I was like, that is so real.
That's what everybody was like. I thought I was the only one. Like, okay,
Mm-mm,
cool.
mm-mm, not at
Yeah.
all.
I love that. And then just blew up from there. Like so many things people relate to, and I'm like, I always thought I was the only one that felt this way.
No, not at all. And then, before I get off into theme songs, I want to, hold space for what you said earlier in terms of, being a black girl, like in wrestling and how it was taboo. Like, so were
Yeah.
these like people you went to school with,
Yeah.
as a kid who were telling you, like, oh, well, why are you watching that? That's not cool. I
Mhm.
hate to, I'm really sorry that you had that experience. I had that experience too.
Mhm.
Um, going to school and stuff like that, especially the older I got, like in high school, they would
Yeah.
definitely question you then.
Uh,
And then it was just kind of like, I'm not gonna stop watching it just because y'all, said y'all watched it and
mhm.
then stopped at a certain point and then talked about how you think it's fake and all that. Okay,
Yeah,
fine. But I'm gonna keep watching it in my house. Like, I don't
definitely.
care.
And
Like,
somebody
but
said
yeah.
we all went through that moment where we loved wrestling, we found out it was fake, fell off a little bit, but then got older and it was just like the best thing you've ever seen in your life. And I was like, that was literally me. Like, and I think that's why I like it now more because then when I was a kid, we didn't have a lot of our own self on TV. So, like, we had a select few, but it wasn't as many. Period. You have them on NXT, AEW, WWE. They're everywhere, and I love that because that was not a thing when I was a kid.
Yeah, it was few and far in between when it comes to black superstars,
Mhm.
as we were growing up. And it is great that there are more, but the thing is though, like, I'm glad that you were able to sort of persevere through that,
Mhm.
because I find that in life there are a lot of people who make fun of things that they just don't understand.
Yeah.
And it's really sad when you make fun of that thing because you just don't know what it means to that person
Yeah.
or how much that person actually loves it. So it's like when you insult it, it's like you're hurting them. And hopefully we can get to a point to where, stuff like that won't hurt
Yeah.
us as bad, or
Mhm.
at the very least we can become more understanding and respectful of people's quirky
Yep.
things that they love.
Yep. And that's why, like I tell my sister, I'm like, this is something that became a bonding thing with us. Like, it's still, it's like it's still that piece of my childhood there. And I'm like, I enjoy that because it still gives me a sense of my nostalgia that I be wanting sometimes. And since me and her are bonded through it, it made our relationship better. So like I love watching it simply off of that. That I know that that's in place because of it.
Right. Like, it's a bonding ritual, and that's a beautiful thing.
Hmm.
Wrestling really does bring people together. You can find best friends that way. You can
That's how
reconnect
me and
with
my best
family
friend
members.
met. Yeah, that's how me
Yeah.
and my best friend met. It's yeah, it's like I said, it's a lifestyle at this point.
Exactly. Like, it brings people together. So,
Hmm.
I'm really happy that it's done that for you and it's giving you that joy and that connection with people in your life that you love. Like, I'm really
Hmm.
glad you said that. But
Yeah.
then, yeah, going back to what you were talking about earlier, like, when it comes to you making TikToks about, the MVP thing and how much
Hmm.
I loved it, it just reminded me of what my love for, theme songs are. But,
Yeah.
of course, this is a cheap plug. If you are on Apple Music, I do have a playlist of wrestling bops. That's what I called it. And if you want to listen to that, please go
I
listen
need
to it.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I add new songs all the time, but it's just like you think about all the older songs that you loved from back in the day, and you're just like, you know what, this really did hype me up because I
Yeah.
still
Oh,
think
yeah.
I still think Rey Mysterio's old theme song
That is my favorite theme song in the whole world.
is
Like
my favorite too.
when I say like going back to me starting back watching, I'm going back watching old pay-per-views and I'm hearing a song. I'm like, I forgot about this song. Like this song was amazing. Like it's I love it so much. Like I love the theme songs. It makes your mood. Depending on the theme song, it makes your mood. Definitely does.
Right. And what's so funny is it's like thinking about Ray. When I was at WrestleMania this year, I was getting some food before his match with Dominic. And
Mm-hmm.
then, I heard him come out with the Snoop Dogg song first. But then the minute that Viva La Raza hit, everybody everywhere lost it.
So when I tell you I was talking with my best friend, we were sitting there before the match. I was like, you know what would be crazy? If we just hear Eddie's theme song one more time. I was like, imagine hearing it in this crowd. As soon as I said that, it came on. I screamed so loud. Cause I was like, I haven't heard this song in so long. It made my day.
Yeah, were you there?
No, but I wish I was. Like I wanted
Oh,
to go
okay.
so bad. But I know for a fact I'm going to Mania next year because it's kind of closer, so I don't have a problem like getting that together. It's a graduation gift to myself. I'm gonna go.
Absolutely. Like you like I feel like if you're a wrestling fan, you have to go to WrestleMania at least once or
Yeah,
twice.
like football fans have to go to a Super Bowl at least once in their life.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
amazing. Like I've been twice. I'm blessed to have gone twice. I went to the
Hmm.
one in Atlanta in 2011 and then the one for this year. And
That was
just
my
seeing
that mania just highlights my whole childhood.
yeah.
'Cause that was
Me
the
too.
first one my mom ever bought on pay-per-view. I I highlight that mania always.
I'm so happy you do because a lot of people be talking about how it's like one of the worst manias, and I'm just looking like that's the
Yeah,
mania I went to.
that
Don't
was
do
my
that.
that highlighted my whole life because my mom was like, "I'll buy it," because it was right after my birthday. Mania usually lands right after my birthday, so I'm like, I wanted that so bad. That was an exciting day.
I'm so happy that that was, one of your biggest highlights. It's a highlight for me too, because that was the last wrestling event I went to before I graduated high school and went to college.
Wow,
So, yeah, so after that, I hadn't been to a wrestling event like in years. So,
that's crazy.
yeah, so that was kind of like a send home thing for me. Like, yes,
Hmm.
we're gonna cap it off, and then after
I
that, you go
love
straight
that
to
for you.
adulthood.
That's so fun. I love that.
Yeah, but this year's was beautiful though. Like I love the format of the 2 night thing. So you won't be overwhelmed with so much of everything.
Yeah.
There was people from all over the world. I sat next to a guy from Japan who was so
Wow.
excited for Asuka and held up his Japanese flag and everything. It was so precious. But I was rooting for
Man, I
Bianca the
can't
whole time, so it was
wait
awkward.
to experience that. I always say I want to experience. That's why I want to go to SummerSlam so bad because that's something I want to experience. Like Extreme Rules was cool, but SummerSlam's gonna be outside, and I've never done an event outside. Like I'm so excited. I can't
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff happening, and the last few pay-per-views have been really lit for the most part.
Hmm.
Even though they've been out of the US, they're still really lit because the
They've been
international crowd
amazing.
are popping.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. So you said that after you made your MVP TikTok, that's when everybody started to garner attention. So when did you also decide that you were going to keep doing it as a consistent thing?
Um, I want to say like after the fact that there were so many people that followed me out of nowhere and was like, seeing a girl like wrestling is crazy. And I was like, there's probably other girls out there that like wrestling. Like, I want to make content because you're not alone. I'm here too. So I was like, hey, why not? And it was something to do while I was at school. I was so bored. It was my senior year. I was like, I'm okay. I need something different to do than just sit here and do nothing. And it became a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you did find out, of course, eventually with all your followers that there are more of us.
Hmm.
More
There are
of us,
so
girl.
many of us. I love that.
Yes. Yes, there are more of us girls, more guys, of course, everywhere. But there are definitely more of us women of color that love wrestling too. So now
Hmm.
you know you're not alone.
Yep. I love that. I'm like, yay, more friends, because not a lot of mine watch it. And like I said, that's how me and my best friend became friends. Um, After the holiday tour that I took my sister to, we were moving. And our neighbor, her daughter kept like staring at us and whispering. And then one day I came home with my honorary Oos hoodie on. And she was like, I like your hoodie. And I was like, thanks. And she was like, you watch wrestling? And I'm like, yeah. We had this whole conversation, and then her daughter runs out and she was like, Mom, I told you that was the girl that seen Bianca. And it was my sister. And I was like, wait, you guys were there? And she was like, we seen you. I was like, oh, that's crazy. And they were like, if you guys ever want to come watch, you can watch with us. And I was like, okay. So then her little sister, me and her started talking. And when I say it's just created a big family with me, them, my sister, I love it because I've never had somebody so close with me to watch it. Like we'll go to events together and stuff. We're going to SummerSlam together. So I'm like, wow, I just made a whole family out of nowhere because of wrestling.
That's beautiful. That is so beautiful. And now people are recognizing you on the street and everything.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's it's weird. I'm like, hi. Like, I don't be knowing how to respond. Just be like, hey.
Mm-hmm. But you deserve it. You've earned it. You've made all of this content, and then I'm more than sure you'll garner more attention from it and stuff like that. So, have you
Yeah.
gotten any attention from any wrestlers, like in particular, on social media or on TikTok yet?
Okay, so way before I made content, like so long before this, I took my sister to her first event. We went to Raw in Indianapolis because she didn't get to go to Extreme Rules with me. So I took her and I recorded, I don't know if it was that one. I think it was that one. Maybe the one after that, whatever. I recorded her singing Rhea's theme song. And Rhea liked it, retweeted it, and messaged me about her and was like, I love it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. So then they came to Columbus again, and I said something to Alexa because, Alexa's from here. And same thing, got a reaction from Alexa. Then Bianca retweeted all my sister's stuff. My sister did her Bianca entrance, the one I posted on my TikTok. She got her recognition. Montez and Angelo, my sister and my friend, were doing the Street Profits entrance outside. They got recognition for that. So it's just been an ongoing random thing where they'll interact with me in somehow, some form or fashion. So I'd be so excited about it.
Yeah, I love the ones that you post of your sister who says like how you say she thinks she's Bianca,
Yeah, she
and then
is
she'll come
Bianca.
running every time she's on TV. Like that's
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah, she is Bianca at this point. Like it's there's no in between for it. Like she embodies Bianca at this point.
Yes. And that's a like Bianca just has that effect on people, that effect on
Mhm.
women and all of that. So it's just like you just can't help but just love her.
Yeah, because that happened to me. Like in the beginning, I wasn't really feeling Bianca like for a little bit, and then like it wasn't like I wasn't feeling her, but I didn't know about her because
Yeah.
she just came in when I started watching again, so I knew nothing of her. And
Hmm.
then gradually, I'm like, okay, I like Bianca. Like my sister, we were in the store when she lost, and my sister stormed off like about to cry, and we were so confused as to what happened.
Um
And it was because Bianca lost. Like Bianca has that effect on people.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, she had that effect on me, except when that SummerSlam was going on, I was
Mhm.
calling a match. I was doing commentary, for the Belladonna division, and I
Yeah.
couldn't react because I had to be professional because I was on a job. So it was just
Mhm.
like I was really upset, but I had to hold it in and focus on the match that I
Yeah.
was calling with my partner. But after it was over, trust me, I was very, very upset.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
That
Jesus,
was
that was a
me. That was me
time.
with Mania. When Cody lost. When I say
Oh,
I was holding my breath the whole match. And when I seen I don't know, Solo, whoever came in, that match is a blur because it upset me so much. Whoever came in,
it
I
was
remember
solo.
I had my blanket on and I'm just sitting there like holding my breath. And I just started crying because I was like, it's not gonna work. He's not gonna win. When I say crying tears, like crocodile tears, and ran out the house crying because I was so upset, like it hurt my heart. I was
Right.
so mad. And then
Right.
I was like crying laughing when somebody threw that rubber chicken in the ring. And my friends were like, what is wrong with you? I was like, somebody threw a chicken in the ring by Cody. And they're like, are you okay? No, it's a chicken. And I'm like, this is stressing me out. I'm ready to go home now. Yeah.
Raven.
It was
Look.
it was a sad day
Imagine
for me.
imagine being there.
If I was I'm so glad I wasn't there because I probably would have
Girl.
left. I just would have never came back.
I left. That's exactly what I did. I left and stormed out of my seat and just left everything and just walked by. And every time somebody drove by in the street with Roman Reigns' theme song playing out of the car, I just stared at them. I just gave them a death stare like, come on.
I was like, I'm already
Mm-mm.
hoarse. Like my voice is already gone. I'm crying. I'm like, this is the worst day of my life. Like And then everybody's texting me like, I told you, I told you. I was like, if you text before anybody texted me, I was like, if you text me about this match, I am blocking you. Because I am mad right now. Nobody talked to me. I was distraught for like 2 days.
Oh my god. I'm still
Yeah.
distraught low key. Like,
You won't
but
catch me
I'll
ever watching that WrestleMania ever again.
now I might still watch it because I was there and there was so many good things that did happen besides that. So I do want to rewatch it at some point. But as far as getting to that part, like it will
I'm
just set my
probably
skin on
never gonna
fire.
watch it again. Yeah, it
Um,
it hurt my feelings.
yeah, it hurt my feelings too. I get it. But the one thing that I do, there is more that I want to ask you though. So
Hmm.
you've had so many, good interactions, and you did talk about, meeting LA Knight,
Hmm.
which is the picture that I used when advertising our interview together. I was just like,
Yeah.
this is so cute. So what was that experience like meeting him?
So that was the day of SmackDown. We got up at 5:30 that morning to get to the cricket. We were second in line, and like we all were like, I'm so nervous to meet him. I'm so nervous. And originally it was actually supposed to be Sami Zayn, but they
Mm.
ended up not coming to Columbus. So they changed it to LA Knight. And when we got there, like it was a surreal experience. Like we had so much fun. Um but we were still out there. They were like giving away tickets, giving away like the cutouts and stuff. And we actually won two sets of tickets, so two sets of two, and blessed two families with the tickets because we already had tickets. So we were like, here you go. If you want to go, you can go. And then this other lady blessed us with her tickets. So we blessed another family with some tickets because we were like, again, we're good. So after that, LA was like, I want you guys to come here. Like what, like you're not supposed to have two interactions with these people. LA was like, I want that group right quick. Come here, come here. So we're all in there like conversating with LA like we've known him for our whole life. And he was so just chill. He was super cool. And my sister was like, I have a question. He was like, yeah. She was like, do you want to be best friends? And he was like real best friends or fake best friends? No, he said real besties or fake besties. And she was like, real besties. And he was like, okay. And so like followed her on Instagram, all this stuff. So let ask her their best friends in real life. Like he knows her, they talk on a daily, so she says. Like then we got to get our group picture and he was like, I like this crowd. And last week actually we seen the guy from the cricket and he was like, I want you guys to know I sent your picture to corporate. When they asked how the event was, they sent our picture to corporate. And then we got the picture and it showed how that moment was. Like it was so much fun.
That is so
Yeah. It
beautiful.
was so much fun. LA Knight is amazing.
That is such a beautiful story. I'm so glad you had that good of an interaction with him.
Yeah, it was so
See,
much fun.
See, now that further complicates the question that I'm going to ask you later.
Hmm.
Um, so, so basically, when it comes to your creation of content,
Hmm.
do you ever plan on collaborating with any more wrestling content creators?
I would love to. I'm moving, like I told you, so I have a bigger space. I have my own space, so I would love to. That's why I'm gonna start my content back up. When I move, because like I said, bigger space. So I would love to. If anybody ever wants to, just tell me, because I will. I don't have nothing to do. I'm at home all day if I'm not at work. So yeah,
Okay. That's really promising because it's just like there's so many,
yeah.
and then there's always, the people who have their own podcasts, who have TikToks too. They
Mhm.
see stuff like that. And then you have like stuff like mine too, where you have people who just post their stuff all the time. You just never know exactly, who's watching you. So I
Mhm.
think that would be amazing, if you did collaborate with more TikTok creators and stuff like that and
Yeah.
make Wrestle Talk a bigger deal. Like
Yeah.
I can't wait to see how that, turns out because TikTok is really it's a monster of an app, but it's
Yeah.
definitely, lucrative.
And what's really funny is I always said, I think everybody's done it at a point. I always said I'm not gonna get on TikTok. Like it's stupid. I knew my little sister was on it making dances and stuff, and I was like, then came the pandemic, and I got on TikTok. and I can't get off. So there's that, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of how it was for me too. I refused to get on TikTok for a minute, and then
Yeah.
once I did, I couldn't stay off of it.
Like now my mom, I can hear my mom in her room watching it whenever she's on. And I'm like, if she don't go to bed, she's been on TikTok for like the past 2 hours.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sleep
It's
schedule
crazy.
gone.
Mm, Man, I can't go to sleep unless I watch a few TikToks. When I'm ready to go to bed, okay, but I gotta watch some TikToks before I go to bed.
Whew. Lord have mercy.
Crazy.
This week alone with the Spider Verse TikToks.
Yeah. Now I'm on this Gracie's Corner TikTok with Big Frida, and I don't know where it came from, but the
Oh
song's
wow.
amazing. I can't stop watching it now. So there's that.
Mm-hmm. It's an addiction. It's
It's an
bad.
addiction, man.
Mm-hmm. But in talking more about, wrestling, so outside of, do you watch any more wrestling outside of WWE?
I watch a little bit of AEW here and there. I try to. I try to catch up. CM Punk's coming back. Is today Thursday? CM Punk's coming back today. So I'm very excited for that. Um, I can't get into New Japan. Like I keep up with it, but I can't ever watch it because that time is just weird and I'll be tired and I don't know. Impact, I used to watch it a little bit, but I haven't watched it since. I mean, I'm gonna try to now that Trinity's there. And they were just here in Columbus, had no idea, but
Oh
whatever.
wow.
That's fine. Trinity was here, didn't know. For 2 days at that. So missed that. Love that. Um, but I try. I mean, WWE is always gonna be that thing for me. So WWE's home. It's always gonna be home.
Yeah, I completely understand that. WWE was kind of it for me for a long time. Well, it was
Mm-hmm.
WCW first, then WWE. And
Mm-hmm.
then, of course, there really wasn't, a whole lot of other stuff that was accessible to me. I won't say that it
Yeah.
wasn't there, it just wasn't accessible to me. So I
Yeah.
totally get that WWE is home. But since I started my show, like I've tried my level best to, become more exposed to other,
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to
talents.
do now. Yeah,
So,
that's what
yeah.
I'm trying to do now. I just ordered the AEW game um because I want to try to get more into it. So we'll
Hmm.
see how that goes.
Yeah, and then the thing about AEW now, like they're about to have 3 shows, so
Yeah.
you got a lot of opportunities to like catch up with AEW and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So that's cool. And then I wish Impact. I really do want to see an Impact show though, because
Yeah.
I
I don't
watch it
think I
off and
have the
on.
channel that it's on, or maybe I just
Yeah,
can't find it or something. I don't know. But I've been trying to watch it.
yeah, like Impact is really great. Like their product is pretty good. It's just they have a little bit of issues when it comes to like the channels that they're on or the
Yeah.
programming or whatever. But outside of that, like the action that they have and the characters that they have, they're so fleshed out
Mhm.
and it's really good. And since Trinity went there, I'm so happy for her.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, it seems that they truly value her like the star that she is, and I'm happy.
Definitely. Yep.
Yeah, I'm really happy for her with that. So she's only going to continue to grow from there. And
Mhm.
hopefully she'll be Knockouts Women's Champion at some point. If she's a Knockouts
Yep.
Champion, I will pass out.
Yeah. I would go crazy. I would be so excited for her.
Me too. Like I will probably like cry maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm a crybaby.
I am too. It's
So
okay.
yeah, it's all right. We cry, but that only means we love it, okay?
Yeah, it's something that makes us happy. It's happy tears. It's not sad tears.
Absolutely. So you do mention a lot of the time that you are a future WWE superstar. I've
Yes.
seen you post about that on your social media a whole lot. So when you say that, like what exactly do you picture yourself doing in a couple of years? Is it wrestling? Is it broadcasting? Like what exactly do you see yourself doing?
I'm actually planning on going back to school for sports broadcasting. I would love to commentate. I would love to be in the ring, but I would really love to commentate or announce. Like, be in the company is really all I want. But that's what I tell people. Somehow, some way, I'm gonna be there. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. I'm gonna be there. I'm like, y'all think I'm joking? You'll randomly turn on your TV one day. You're gonna see my face, and I'm gonna just look at the camera. I told you so. Because I no, it's a dream of mine, and I'm gonna make it a reality one way or another.
Okay, so you're going back to school for broadcasting and then you're going to
Yeah.
go there. Like that is a very clear goal to set. And in life, it's really cool to see people, pursue that dream in that way. And when you said commentary, my ears lit up because that's what I want to do too.
Yeah, I would love to. Like my friends, even when we're watching, they're like, "You would be an amazing commentator." I'm like, "I know I would. I know. That's why I'm going to be one." I don't at this point I don't care what company, but I'm going to be doing it. People are going to see me on TV in anything. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. So have you
Yeah.
tried to like do like commentary like in local promotions?
Not yet. I just actually got done with my undergrad. So I'm just now
Congratulations.
back. Thank you. I'm just now back at home permanently. So I'm trying to start getting into it. I actually have an in-ring tryout in July, and I don't know how that's about to go, but I'm very excited. But I'm also going to ask them about the commentating opportunities as well, just to be on the safe side.
Okay, well, I hope that that definitely goes well for you. Like that just
Thank
sounds so
you.
amazing. I'm so excited for you
Thank
because
you.
it's
I
just like
appreciate it.
there needs to be more Black women, utilizing their voices. Like
Hmm.
there are a lot of us, but there
Yeah.
needs to be more of us, getting interested in the intellectual component of
Hmm.
wrestling because there's a lot of us athletes, and of course, I love my athletes definitely. But there
Yeah.
needs to be more of us ring announcing, more of us interviewing, and more of us doing the commentary work as well. So we
Hmm.
can see that form of representation for the next generation. And I
Yeah,
definitely
definitely.
believe that you can do it. And I
Thank
believe
you.
I
I
can do
appreciate
it
it.
too. So maybe we'll both be there
Yeah, we'll be
together.
there together.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. And
Yeah.
yeah, I cannot wait for you to do that. I'm so pumped for you. Now, as far
Thank
as the
you.
bumping goes, I'd be scared because I hate pain.
Well,
But
I was always a little tomboy growing up, so it's never really been an issue for me. It's never really been an issue. I was I was in all types of sports. I played everything. So getting hurt in some type of way doesn't bother me at all.
okay, I apologize for that. I
No,
was
you're
getting a
fine.
phone call. Um so there was a lot going on just now, but I apologize for that
No,
really
you're
loud sound.
fine.
But yeah, so you basically said that you participated in sports before.
Yeah.
Okay. So I appreciate that fearlessness, and I'm really excited to see what the future holds for you in that regard. So, in talking about, you mentioned LA Night, and of course, we have Money in the Bank coming up. We just
Mhm.
came off of the heels of Night of Champions, where Seth
Yep.
Rollins became the world heavyweight champion, and he's fighting back and forth between people and
Mhm.
stuff like that. And we have new titles in the women's division, and there's just a
Yep.
whole lot of stuff going on. So when it comes to Money in the Bank for the men and the women,
Mhm.
who do you have in mind to
I
win?
want LA.
Hmm.
I wanted Montez. Like if a Montez won, it definitely would have been Montez. I have Montez for the Elimination Chamber. Like there, he needs to be pushed at some point, and that's what I want. But for the women, I'm with Zelina. I feel like Zelina deserves so much better than what she's given right now. So I'm hoping for Zelina at this point because she needs that.
I absolutely agree with you. Like, I really would have wanted Montez myself.
Hmm.
Um, like I feel like that was such an awkward position because I feel like the Street Profits have been in an awkward position. Like they wanted WrestleMania, but it's like since then they've been sort of like in a holding
Yep.
pattern to figure out what to do with them because of course you have Kevin and Sammy holding both of the titles that are undisputed
Hmm.
champions. So I guess they're still trying to figure out what to do with the rest of the tag teams. And of course, leading into this week on SmackDown, they'll have like a tournament or no, it's not a tournament. It's a
It's a gauntlet
it's a
match.
gauntlet match. Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. It's a gauntlet match to see who will qualify to face them. And I want the Street Profits to win, but I literally feel like holding off on Montez is just kind of like it's almost like you're playing a waiting game, like to see who
Hmm.
like when is this gonna happen for him because he's so talented. and he's so charismatic. Like he has everything, but I do kind of see it going to LA Knight as Mr. Money in
Yeah.
the Bank.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah, I definitely see him. But when it comes to the women, Zelina Vega is my girl. Okay,
Mhm.
like I love her.
Yeah, I love
I love her
Zelina.
so
She
much.
deserves so much.
Mm-hmm. It's just like, and I kind of saw the writing on the wall after Backlash, not only because, her people are from Puerto Rico, but it was just the fact that outside of that, she does so much, with the video gaming community, with
Mhm.
anime and loving stuff like that openly and outwardly. It's just like, I just feel like, with her chasing her dreams in this way, especially after everything she had gone through previously with her family and stuff, it's just like,
Yeah.
I want her to have a big, big moment. Like,
Mhm.
because I'll never forget before stuff went down and she wound up leaving the company. Um, she really could have faced Oscar for the Raw Women's title, and I was so excited for that because I always thought, after she had left Andrade and left Angel Garza, that she needed to stand on her own because she was
Mhm.
always the X factor in helping them. So I was just
Yeah.
like, okay, when is she gonna break out and have her moment? And I really feel like she's in the sweet spot where if she won Money in the Bank, this would be huge for her.
Oh, definitely.
And I want her to hang
Definitely.
on to it too. Like,
Yes.
don't just cash in the next night. Like, keep it.
Like, keep it for as long as you can.
Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely. Absolutely. So, how are you feeling about the state of the women's division or the state of women's wrestling as a whole, even outside of WWE as you continue to grow in your fandom? And what would you say is the best thing about it and what can be improved upon?
It lacks a lot, but it's getting better. Cause it used to be pretty bad, but it's gotten a lot better since I like I wasn't the biggest fan of the the Divas era with how they presented them. But now like I like it more because you don't have to flaunt a whole bunch to be amazing, and I love that. I feel like they're trying to give them the like the recognition that they need now. Like since Triple H came, you can tell the women's division is getting a little bit better. I'm just tired of the same repeat stuff. Like I want to see some different things. I want us to get a different title. I was saying like we need something like a women's intercontinental or something. Like give us more time on TV with another title. We don't have to just have the tag team and the new what is it, the undisputed and stuff like that. We don't need just that. We need something more. We need more TV time, definitely.
I absolutely agree with that because that's a sentiment that I share as well. Is that
Uh-huh.
as great as it is that you have these women fighting for the top titles,
Yeah.
it's just that in the middle part of it, if they're not in a tag team, it's almost like you're left with kind of with nothing, and
Mm-hmm.
it'll be like weeks or months before we see a certain superstar or
Yeah.
something like that. And that is something that I do, wish they had an IC title for or a US title for. Like
Mm-hmm.
at one point as a fan, I was going crazy and saying, just give women all the titles that the men have.
Yeah. Something like
Like
that.
I was
Anything.
yeah, yeah, I was crazy like for a second, but it's just like, but then again, it's not as crazy when you think of equality.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, I do feel that at some point there needs to be something made for the women who aren't in a tag team, but do still want some level of single success that might not
Yeah.
lead to them getting at the top. And
Definitely.
I feel like that's something that could very well happen in the future. I'm not sure. But I do
Mm-hmm.
love those new titles though. Like they're really pretty.
Yeah.
Like I love championships.
Yeah.
So
Seth's title, as soon as it dropped like on WWE Shop, I'm like, I'm putting this in my cart right now. Like I don't need it. But I've always been a big fan of the big gold title. Like I have it. And that's always been one of my favorite titles. It was the nicest title out there. Besides the spinner belt, of course. But the big gold, that was my favorite title. So when that one came out, oh, I was so excited. I was like, I'm getting this. I need this. I don't want anything else. Then they got the women's one and it got the white strap. I'm like,
ooh,
okay, take my money right now.
That's how I feel. I was just like, when I saw that title, I was in love. Kind of like how I fell in love at first sight with the Raw Women's title. The first time I saw it, I couldn't
Hmm.
deal. And I
The
bought that
Divas,
one.
that was me with the Divas title.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted that title so bad as a child. And even now, at my big age, I'm like, I'm gonna buy this one day. Like, I need this title. That the spinner belt, I need that title because, like, it's amazing. I want it so bad.
Absolutely. So I did also see that you do have your own podcast. Is podcasting something else that you want to continue to explore?
Yeah. Like I was saying, I'm moving, so I feel like I'll be able to get into it more. And I'm not in school, so I have time on my hands to be able to do it. I definitely want to do that, but I'm trying to get my streaming channel together. I'm gonna keep my podcast on Spotify, but I want to actually start streaming as well. So we're gonna figure all that out once I get all moved in and stuff.
Okay, what's the name of it?
I have no idea yet. We're in. It's a little choppy at this point because I don't
Okay.
want to do it and then I put it off and I forget about it. Like it's something I want to do, so I'm like, it has to be perfect before I can get it started. Like I need everything piece by piece first.
I get it. So for now, it's just Baby Girl McCoy. I mean, not Baby Girl podcast. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's a Baby Girl podcast, and that's
Mhm.
okay. And that's okay. And even if everything isn't perfect, as long as you start, because that's how I started mine. I was like, as long as you start and get a good rhythm going and figure out what works and what doesn't, then that's
Yeah,
all that matters.
definitely.
Absolutely. So, who would you say are your top 5 wrestlers, male, female, or um non-binary?
Um, well, like I said earlier, Randy started it all. I love Randy. I miss Randy. I tweet Randy almost every day at this point, like, "Hey, this me again. I miss you. Come back. It's a little boring without an RKO every 5 seconds. I miss you." Like, I love Randy. Randy and Edge. Like when I first started watching, it was the rated RKO thing going on. I was in love with Randy and Edge. They're always gonna be on my list. Um, John Cena was always. I love John Cena. He was amazing. I mean, what kid didn't love John Cena? You know.
Right.
Um, but it's really gonna be Randy and Edge, of course. Triple H. I love Triple H. Shawn Michaels. I know I'm big on tag teams. And a really random one. I would say Cody because I love Cody. I've always been a big Cody and Seth person. But um, CM Punk because when I was in middle school was when CM Punk's title reign was going on, and I can't live that down. I won't live that down. I will recite the whole pipe bomb speech to whoever asked me to do it if I can remember it in that moment. Like I love CM Punk. I cried like a baby when he came back. I mean,
Oh.
and I was mad because something told me it was happening, and I was doing a midterm, and I fell asleep and I woke up and it was all over Twitter and I had to run to YouTube to watch it and I sat there and cried like a baby. I was so happy to see CM Punk again.
That's so funny. That reminds me of that man who was in the audience watching it happen live and he was crying.
Yeah, I sat in my bed and boohoo cried. I was so now Cody's return. I didn't even know I recorded myself watching it, but I found the video a year later, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, it's Cody. Like it's gonna be Cody. It has to be Cody. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, it's gonna be Cody. When his music started, bawled. Like I was so excited to see Cody back in WWE because these are people from my childhood that made my childhood. Like legacies made my childhood. I was so excited to see Cody. I love Cody so much. I am very much Cody biased. Like it's pretty bad. Yeah. It's like Cody over everybody for me.
Yeah, I get it. I have to tell my story of Cody coming back because I believe I might have told this story before, but I'm gonna tell it again. When Cody came back, I was watching that WrestleMania with my boyfriend, and we were watching it, and of course, Seth Rollins was doing his whole thing,
Mhm.
like he was saying, "Don't make me wait," and all that. Like he was screaming and he was excited, and then all
Yeah.
the fireworks went off, and I'm just looking like, okay, who is this? And I had heard the rumors, the online chatter,
Heard the
I
rumors,
hear it,
yeah.
I heard it, but it didn't hit for me until after his music hit, and then he came out, and then the ring announcer actually said his name.
Yeah.
Like
I got chills. Like,
I had to wait to hear it because I felt like maybe I was dreaming it or maybe it was a joke.
mhm.
Like it didn't
Yeah.
feel real.
I literally sat there. I was with my ex. I was like, it's Cody. It's Cody. It has to be Cody. It's gonna be Cody. And when his music hit, I was like, oh my God, it's Cody. Like, I was so excited. That
Couldn't
was,
believe it.
oh, man, literally couldn't believe it.
Yeah, and I still watch that return back sometimes just to
It gives you chills. Like, it had me like, oh my God.
mm-hmm. It was amazing for sure. And then he went on to have like a fantastic match, Like
Yeah. And
what more can
amazing.
you
It
ask
was so
for?
good. It was so good. I was
It
so
really
happy for
was.
him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He'll be champion one day for sure.
One day. Yeah, I
What would
believe
you
it.
prefer? What would you prefer? Would you prefer him be heavyweight champion or undisputed champion?
I feel like you started this thing with Seth. I feel like everybody's like finish the story when it was with Roman, which okay, but he started the whole thing with Seth when he came back. Y'all went on to do 3 matches. If it didn't end with Seth, I would be kind of confused, kind of mad. Same thing I'm saying with Roman. If it doesn't end with Jay, I'm gonna be so confused because it
Mm.
should. That's where it started. You wouldn't expect it to end like that, but I feel like it should. You always go back to where it started.
I think that's a really good take on it. For me, I would want him to get his look back for Roman simply because of how broken my heart
They
was.
played him. Yeah, they played him. It's
Yes. Yes,
yeah.
but then I get the Seth part too because after Cody was injured with his pec and he fought Seth and won, Seth
Mhm.
attacked him and we didn't see him anymore and they never fought again and then Cody came back for the Rumble.
Yeah.
So that would make sense if he
And
did
they
come
had a
back
little tiny
and do
interaction
that.
at Rumble. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be a thing, and I would not be upset.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. Like I wouldn't be upset about that either. And then the way that Seth is carrying the heavyweight title, it's not it's not seen as a consolation prize anymore like it was before.
Mhm.
So it would be fine. I would be okay with it. But honestly, I just want vengeance for my broken heart.
Yeah,
It's just
definitely.
either or. It's fine. So,
Mhm.
but you do have a solid, top, favorite list. Like that's a
Yeah.
really good list, though. So, what would you say the future holds for you, Raven?
Um, I'll like I said, I'm gonna be on that TV one way or another. That's what it's gonna be. I do want to get better in my content creating, but being somewhere in that area, that's where I want to be. Definitely.
Absolutely. That's very definitive and it's really clear. And I appreciate and love that vision. And
Mhm.
hopefully, as you continue to grow, and find yourself in your and more of your identity, you will stand on that and make all of your dreams come true. And then
Thank
along the
you. I
way,
need that.
you'll inspire other people. You'll
Mhm.
inspire me, and then we'll all collectively make it a great thing. So,
Definitely.
Raven Briana, thank you so much for coming on the Hardy Wrestling Podcast. And if
No
you could just
problem.
tell everybody where they can find and follow you and what you've got going on now.
You can find me on TikTok. I think my Twitter is the same. I think all my social media is the same. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram is all the Raevyn Briana WWE. Um, just follow me. Message me if you want to do any content. I'm always down. Literally, I have nothing to do. It's summertime. This is my first year not having to go back to school. I'm free. So if anybody ever wants to do anything, please do not be shy. I am willing to do content with anybody.
Absolutely. That is fantastic. So, of course, if you're watching, you know the vibe. You can find and follow me, your girl Stephanie Hardy, on Instagram and Twitter at Queen Steph Hardy. And of course, you can watch me on Women's Wrestling Talk, the number one women's wrestling show on the planet, every Monday on the Wow Superheroes After Show with Katrina and Emily May Heller. And you can watch me on Fridays with our editor in chief, Drian Santana, for the SmackDown After Show every Friday after SmackDown, of course. And just continue to support the vibe and like, listen, and subscribe to the Hardy Wrestling Podcast. Leave a comment, leave 5 stars everywhere. Of course, if you like all the content, this episode will be up tomorrow on the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and listen to the audio version of this episode and this interview as well once it is posted tonight. So, for everyone watching, thank you so much for watching the Hardy Wrestling Podcast with your girl Stephanie Hardy and Raevyn Briana. And until next time, bye,
Bye.
y'all.